to that schedule. Dennis, got the Piedmont Classical School in here full force tonight. The guys are running full steam ahead.
Yes, outstanding group of young kids. One of the things I like about Piedmont Classical High School, give every kid an opportunity to be themselves and not. It's a first-year school, so you get to make a first impression as an individual, and that's why I chose the school for our son because of the class size and the focus they put on education. As a freshman in high school, going to a larger setting could cause a lot of interference with academics.
Right.
And so with the smaller setting, we are excited about what they're doing at Piedmont Classical as from an academic perspective as well from a sports perspective.
Do they have many kids out there play musical instruments? I think about Piedmont Classical. I think about
exactly.
classical
The
music.
violin
I'm thinking about maybe that kid back on the Peanuts. Who was the guy who played the piano? Was it Schroeder?
You're right on it. You're right on it.
But do they have a lot of musicians out there? Music?
No, I don't think they have any music classes.
No music program.
Music
Wow.
program.
That's so interesting.
And the location there at C3 Church out on 68.
Yeah.
And that church is known for music.
Exactly.
So, and the classical, when you look at it, what did that name derive from? Is it classical music or classical as in classic? So I think it's more the classic of in
Classic period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
In history. Right.
And logic, that's one of my favorite courses. I love logic.
Oh, yeah?
And, logic and reasoning.
Well, Coach Free is a logic man, no doubt about that. That's what we hear.
A lawyer is certainly a logic and ethics man, so philosopher as well. So you put all that in, you have our Aristotle.
Plus, a lot about Coach Free. He really loves and respects his brother. His younger brother, Ben, he just thinks a lot of his brother. That's good to see.
And that's a great relationship. That's the way I am with my brothers. I'm the baby, and they feel that way. My whole family feel that way about me. A kinship, as you said, Ben and Ken has a great relationship. I didn't realize they were 7 years apart. I've been knowing these guys for a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought they was a couple of years apart. But Ben played in my home state of South Carolina, and we know some of the same people from Benedict. A lot of my friends went to Benedict. I went away from Benedict.
Is that down in Anderson, South Carolina?
No, Benedict is in Columbia.
Columbia.
Yeah, Benedict is the
middle of the state.
Middle of the state, and down at the capital. And then you have South Carolina State, but Benedict is right in the middle of Columbia. And Coach Cardi and Coach Free, they bring a lot of experience to Piedmont Classical. They bring a lot of knowledge. They bring a lot of understanding these kids. And to go, I think it was like, they only lost like 6 games.
22 and
6 in your inaugural season.
Unreal.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Northern, when they first came in with the basketball. And I think both of these gentlemen want to build this school, and I was hoping you asked Coach Cardi, would he look at his move here becoming like a Greensboro Day later on? Do you want to build that like a Greensboro Day? Or Coach Free, would you like to have this program model after a program that your brothers have to be well known?
Right.
So those two guys, you have to pattern after something, and it'll be interesting to see, are they patterned after the places that
I was
they've
asking
been?
Coach Cardi, was Piedmont Classical School more like Greensboro Day, more like Bishop McGinnis, or more like maybe New Garden Friends? He still feels like it's somewhere between a private school and a public school, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the setting I like, and that's why we chose that for our son again, because it gives you that public and that private as well as charter opportunity for kids to go and to indulge in academics, and I'm very happy that this school exists.
Well, how about some other things tonight? What about this Hendon Hooker signing today?
Yeah, and Andy, you and I have been to a lot of signings, and we was talking about it after. I think Hendon Hooker had to be one of the most profile high school athletes in Greensboro outside of, I would say, Keenan Allen, on a day of what school he's going to choose. And when you look at the dynamics of Hendon Hooker, his athletic ability, academic, he's very smart. He's a very down-to-earth kid. He loves people, and people love him. He's not arrogant.
No.
He is a kid that is focused. He gets that from his daddy, that humility from his father, Alan Hooker.
Tell you what, I got all 4 of those videos posted. I can't believe I got all that done before I came here today. I was in a state of shock trying to get all that downloaded because the library, which I use, has the high-speed internet, and they're going to be closed tomorrow. So if they can get that done today, it would have not been done until Saturday. So I got all those videos up on your website.
Yeah, and that's good. You put the work in, and I just asked Don about it, and he says certainly it was up. And I sent him a couple of pictures that I've taken. And one of the things that we've seen today with the Hooker family, that family did not pressure him one way or another. They allowed him to make that decision. And I think that's very important because, as Coach David said, he put very little in the decision making, but he put a lot in it from a perspective of you being happy with your decision. And I think that makes a big difference because if you go and things don't work out, you can't blame anybody but yourself. And one of the things Hendon talked to both of us about, he loved being in the spotlight, but he shared with everybody else. He's an unselfish person because today, I like that every senior, every teammate of his classification had his back, was behind him, and he loved that. And he looked back to them and said, what you guys have to say?
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah,
Going to Virginia Tech,
it really was. I was thinking Notre Dame or NC State. I didn't see Virginia Tech because they wasn't even in the conversations. Normally, the only thing you heard in Hooker's conversations, Syracuse. So when that didn't materialize, talking to Joe Sierra from the News and Records, Joe brought up a lot of good points that a lot of the other schools have taken quarterbacks, and they probably would have gave Hooker an option.
And they got a new coach at Virginia Tech too, Jason Fuentes, who's a former quarterback, and I just had to click by a couple of things on the end of the run this afternoon before I came over here, and Hooker was saying this is a new coach. He's a former quarterback. He knows quarterbacks. I look forward to playing with this guy.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a glove fit with a Hooker and going to play with a school where a well-known quarterback came from, Michael Vick, and what legendary Beamer was the coach. So Virginia Tech has the pedigree of a great football school, and it was really dominated by a quarterback in Michael Vick area. So Hooker is going into, hey, can Michael Vick come out and work out with this kid? They help him. You never know.
You never know. And Bruce Smith, he was there too back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
Bruce
good defensive player.
A great number 77. Buffalo Bills, outstanding player. When you talk about Virginia Tech, there is a lot of great players that come from Virginia Tech, come from the Hokies.
What about Piedmont Classical School? What about this baseball team Nathan's with? How about the baseball team? It seems like it's coming along pretty good.
And the baseball team is a lot of kids with some baseball experience, some with no baseball experience. And that's what I like a new school. These kids get an opportunity to do something they never done before. If you go to another high school and you never played baseball before, let's just say Southeast, where baseball is the king of the crop for spring sports, and you never played before, you wouldn't even get an opportunity to go on even to watch them practice. And so these kids can find their talent in one sport or another.
And it may take a little while to discover it too. It's a lot more, the time frame is a lot longer to work with at Piedmont Classical School. They're going to be more patient, give these more kids more time to come around. And you may have some untapped talent that you don't even aware of, and it may scratch that kid loose and may find that talent. Even a kid like Nathan, a kid like Mick Leak, some of those kids.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when Nathan told us the idea, again, we always said our kids make their own decisions. I said, baseball. And I said, you know what? I thought about it, and I say, I may be robbing my son of the best opportunity that he have. And I called you and I talked about it, and I told you the position that never played baseball before, and then you go out and come home and say, Dad, I'm going to be a starting catcher. I'm like, what are you drinking? You know, what is going on? And that's the hardest position on the baseball field because I was bat blind. I was a third baseman and then I was center fielder. But baseball was my first love.
That'd be like a kid who's a long-time defensive tackle for his youth football team, and he goes to high school the first day and comes home. How did you like it? Well, pretty good. Wait till they get you playing. Put me a quarterback. What? My Lord.
absolutely. You almost like, did you get hit? You know?
How hard did you get hit? Yeah.
Absolutely. And the thing that I love about it, I had an opportunity to go out and see his first game.
Oh, but that was fun.
And I did not go in the spectator section. I was in the dugout.
Oh, no.
I was the nervous father out there because you didn't want things to fall apart and then blame the catcher. You know?
Yeah.
But he did well, and I was in his ear. Son, come on, I'm his biggest fan and also his biggest critic. And I think it's you have to be even keel.
Even keel,
because and he got a hit, you know.
Oh,
and
man.
I was very
It's
excited.
a big boost when you get a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love, and I'm glad, Pete, my classical. I'm not as much involved in the new school as with other things I have to do. Mm-hmm. But I love everything so far. And Nathan's start was a little rough, and that's always that way. Coming from a Bible school, Vandalia, and now going to another type of setting, it's an adjustment, and he's adjusted well.
What about Mr. Cardi over there? What has he meant to that school? You got to know him a little bit this year?
Yeah, Cardi means everything. When we first went, when we found out he was going to be the athletic director, I called you, matter of fact, and said, Andy, you would not believe this. John, I was the leak, you know, before we could go public with it. I said, Andy, you would not believe me. And you said, you sure, John? I say, it's John Carter from Greensboro Day, because neither one of us saw that coming, you know. And
at first I thought he might be the boys' basketball coach. I'd be surprised going from girls to boys.
Yeah.
And he was a girls' coach, but then Kenny Free takes it to the boys. So, yeah, that was interesting.
Absolutely. And Carter means everything to this program with his expertise and what the background he brings from Greensboro Day. Because when you come from Greensboro Day or Bishop McGinnis with a basketball pedigree and you're starting a program, you have a head start already.
Oh, yeah.
Versus getting someone from a football school and trying to build a program. I think they have a great match with Cardi, and Cardi went out and shopped around and got the best fit with Free. So I think these guys are going to be okay for this program.
What do you think about your NCAA basketball? Who are you picking to win this thing?
Well, you know, there's no secret. Don Moore and I, Tar Heels all the way. We can't pick anybody else but the Tar Heels. And I know Miss Moore, she's a Duke fan. We still like her, no hard feelings. And you're an NC State man, but
just also Martin twins today.
Yeah, just us. But Don Moore and I, anybody else bracket can be busted, but we're going to be Tar Heels.
So you sticking with Tar Heels?
Yeah, stick with the Tar Heels. And if we play like we played against Providence the second half, we can disguise the limit.
I missed quite a bit of that game. I listened a little bit on the radio. They got a big lead. I kind of let it go.
Yeah, I was shocked. But Providence didn't have two good players. And when you're playing against a team like the Tar Heels, first of all, the Tar Heels.
That Dunn kid on Providence was pretty good.
Yeah,
Dunn,
he was outstanding.
Something about him, about his
29
saw a little special on him back early in the season about his family, how he grew up, lost his mom or dad, maybe.
Yes, that's just like Oklahoma. Hail from Oklahoma. His pedigree background from Jamaica, and now he's one of the leading scorers. And Cat Barber, you has just signed, just going to make his commitment to the pros. Well, you have a lot of guys, and as you said, come from tour backgrounds and have done a phenomenal job. And so, I'm going with Carolina. All the way.
You like the way Theo Pinson's playing right now?
Yeah, they gave Theo a different label. They gave him the class clown label of the basketball team. They talked about his ingenuity of a character, and I would have never guessed that in Theo. But he's one of the vocal leaders. He keep the locker room excited and full of energy.
Keep him loose, keep him relaxed.
Yeah, and he's playing good. Theo is playing.
Got kind of a new role now. He's become more of a defensive player and more of a facilitator, more of a passer too.
Yeah. And that's what you talked about. You and I just talked about you being in a transition. He was primary scorer at Wesleyan, and now you go from a scorer to giving off. He had like 7 or 8 assists. He's doing a great job as a utility player.
Yeah, tall and lean, sees the defense well too.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the only player that I'm really disappointed in is Kennedy Meeks. I haven't seen that tough side. He reminds me of that Brad Doherty. I haven't seen that toughness in him that we need to see, and so hopefully that'll come.
Yeah, Isaiah Hicks seeing more time now too.
Yes. Isaiah Hicks have put himself as one of those players that, hey, coach, put me in, I'm ready to play.
He's ready.
And he's fit into Roy Williams' system as our inside presence that can dominate with his moves. Meeks is straight up. Isaiah Hicks come in. He can move laterally. He can move horizontally. So he's a great player for Carolina. Great player for Carolina.
Well, let's let you settle out of here. Let's get Paul. Let's see if Paul can step in.
All right.